Hi everyone, I'm back. I'm Kimberly with my Victorian Heart, and we did a live earlier at 2 p.m. Eastern Time today with the Roycycled Treasures Beautiful Angels Masterboard decoupage tissue paper on a large wooden plank that I have painted in a chalky white paint. And then we added some Iron Orchid Designs IOD Christmas Valley transfers. We added some evergreens and florals and berries, and we stenciled the Roycycled Treasures Cloche Stencil over the Madonna from the Roycycled Treasures Angels Masterboard paper. And I'm gonna show you, this is what we're working on, and we couldn't finish it. I didn't have enough time. I even went over and still didn't have enough time. But this is what it's gonna look like. And this board, it's from Hobby Lobby. It's from the Woodpile aisle. And it is 20, wait a minute, let's see how big it is. 24 inches by maybe 3/4 of an inch deep, a little less. And then it's 12 inches wide. So 12 by 24. And this is how wide it is. And I put the Iron Orchid Designs Classical Chair Large Mold at the top, and I crackled, distressed the background with the IOD Large Crackle stamp. That it looks like the stamp that's in their vintage texture stamp set. And I kind of did it on the paper. And right now we want to blend in these missing edges to make them a little even. So I mixed up some white matte chalky paint. It's Rustoleum's chalked linen white paint, to be exact. And I mixed a little dab of that with this vintage yellow by Pentart. Let me close it and I'll show you the lid. Is that too close? I don't know. And this color, this is what it looks like. And I mixed it up on this parchment paper and with the white, and that's the color I got. And it actually looks kind of like the old parchment-y color that is on the Roycycled paper. And it may be a tad darker, the paint. My paint probably needs a more touch of white. But is what I'm gonna do is where I'm touching up, I'm gonna go over it with some aging medium so we can make it blend in better with our Cloche Stencil lines. So I'll put the camera down now and I'll show you what we're working on. And we'll hopefully get some work done on this project and get near finished. I don't know, I'm gonna try to finish it. So here we go. Good. Okay. I don't know if the camera's not straight, or I'll move over a little bit. I struggle with this all the time. All right, here we go. So I am just blending, I'm just lightly blending in right here because the paper was a little short on this side. And I don't want to get it on my cloche line. And it's okay because we can go in with some antiquing gel all around the edges here. So that's what we're gonna do. And then it'll make that blend better. And then we're just gonna just kind of go lightly right here on this edge, just a teeny bit, teeny. And we'll be aging these. I haven't decided what I'm gonna do here yet. You know, these projects are like a live work in progress. Sometimes I have in my mind this whole thing I'm gonna do, and then when I start doing, I change. And I'm thinking, that might not work and this is gonna be better. So it's just, that's just the way it is when you're creating. Nothing is for certain. So, and then I cut out, whoops, I didn't want that sitting on there, shoot. Carefully pull this off. This is an IOD, part of the IOD Christmas Valley transfer. There we go, no harm done. Once you take the backing off of these, the adhesives are really strong, and you don't want to let them touch anything because they'll get stuck, you know, and then your stuff is kind of ruined. So a lot of these funky edges, so it's not a big deal. And then we're just gonna mute this, and you have to be careful because this is tissue paper, so you don't want to like tear it or get it too wet or anything like that. So just gonna go over it with a little damp cloth, wipe away some of it so it's not so. And we want to dry this before we apply the transfer. So we're going to get our nice and quiet heat gun here and hit it with some warm air, speed up that drying so we can put our transfer. You want to keep the heat away from your transfer when you're working on these projects. So what I was gonna do with this is I was gonna slip this sprig underneath this. And you don't want to let this stick on your surface until you know exactly where you want it. You should keep your backing on when you do that, which I did earlier, but then I took it off because I thought I was ready. That's good right there. So you see how, let me move it down. Do you see how this part of the transfer is touching the bottom of that cherub accent? So what you want to do is just take some scissors and you want to cut around, fussy cut around. Okay, so we're gonna tuck this under here and rub it on before we get this part on, okay? We just want to make sure it is where we want it, okay? So yes, that's how I want it. So we're gonna go like this, okay? And I don't want my finger touching that. So I am gonna find something to anchor this down with while I work. Let's see. Something kind of heavy. Oh, here we go, snow paste. All right, let's see. Let's put that right there. Okay, don't move. We're gonna find our brayer, our plastic brayer. IOD includes a plastic brayer with all of their decor. So it's a good way to camouflage funky edges on your projects. And it's also, that sprig was a good filler for, and I think we need some to go there. So we'll put that in after we rub this part on. Oops. And when you have pieces that overlap on like a recessed area or a curve, it's perfectly fine to apply your transfers over those. You just make little snips and cuts like, you know, you do in sewing when you're, like, let's say you're sewing the curve of a Christmas stocking and you cut little notches to help the heel of your stocking when you turn it right side out to sit right. And that's what you do with the transfers. You can just bend them in, and then you rub away and they go on like a dream. I thought the Madonna and baby Jesus were such a sweet image from Angel's Masterboard by Roycycled. I thought it was a really great image for the cloche and the angel with the evergreens for like Christmas artwork. I thought that would be really, really pretty. So you just have to go into the little creases and sort of work with your brayer, rubbing them in. And they do really well. Look at that, it's so perfect. Went on like a dream. When you hear the paper kind of crackling and loosening up and it gets opaque-ish over your design, you know that your transfer's adhering and ready to come up. Like your clear plastic. Let's see, are we all good here? I think we are. There we go. You always want to rub over your transfer with your clear plastic that held your adhesive part of your transfer, so you make sure it's all on there nice and tight. Like this piece is sticking up a little bit right here, so we're gonna rub it down, and there you go. Nice and tight. Oh, it's so pretty. I love it so much. Roycycled and IOD, they make the prettiest designs. I have loved them forever. Okay. So now we want to tuck in this little sprig. I'm a filler. So let's see, where do you think he should go? Maybe like right there. I don't know, maybe here. He looks like he belonged to that little branch over there. There we go. Now, we have to figure out how we want to paint our cherub. So let's move the camera up so you can see her. Okay, here you go. I'll just go like that. I'm using Rustoleum chalked paint in linen white on the. You don't need to base coat the clay. You can literally just let it dry and rub on color waxes. You kind of paint with a color wax or an antiquing wax or paste. The IOD air dry clay is a dream to work with. You get beautiful detail in their molds and great impressions, and their clay really contributes to that success. And super good. Hey, do you know where that sanding block is and the sandpaper? I gave it to you, like, I don't know. If you happen to find it, that'd be great. I mean, I'm not in a hurry, but I'll need it eventually. Thanks, love. That was my honey. I was asking him for my sanding stuff. Okay, she's all painted and she needs to dry. And now we need to go ahead and work on trimming this out. can always go back over this side with the crackle. I had the really big IOD crackle stamp, so it went over the sides, which is fine, you know. You can always add some more crackle. We love crackle looks, right? We need to go in here with some sealer over all this before we start adding waxes and stuff like that. So we're going to do Pentart, Decoupage, Varnish, and glue on the paper. And this is water-based, so it's safe for the transfer. We're gonna use our mop brush. So Pentart, Decoupage, Varnish, and glue, and Silky Shine. I just want to clean up a little bit over the transfers because I really want the Amy Howard matte sealer over the transfer part, and it's good over the paper, but I gave it a coat of the Decoupage, Varnish, and glue for the paper because it has that silky shine finish that I love for my decoupage, for my holiday decoupage especially. So that's my logic for doing that just now. And the Amy Howard sealer, it's actually called Amy Howard Matte Sealer. I've used this sealer on decoupage, on decor, molds, transfers, all kinds of projects, and it works like a dream. I love it. Okay, I think we're good. So, and with the Amy Howard matte sealer, you literally can just shake it to mix it. You just shake it well. And it's great. There's like a couple of bubbles right there. I probably didn't have enough decoupage glue, but they'll settle as it dries. So I am not worried. All right. The sealer is like milky white and it dries clear. Goes on nice and smooth too. And you can do your aging mediums, you know, antiquing wax, stuff like that, right over it. So when this dries, we'll do another coat. Need to make sure there's no solvents or anything like that, and those solvents will damage your transfers. Wet paste, and we have white antique paste, which I love, and I'm going to be using on here. And you just need a nice dry cloth for that. See if I can find a dry spot on here. So just take a little bit. And this is really good if you painted like a color and you thought it was too dark and you wanted to tone it down. White antiquing paste is great for doing that. So I'm just gonna pull this down this way so you can see. And there you go. And it really whitens it, you know, like you know, if you didn't want it that white, it can be wiped back, you know, like this. So, and you can always add in some green color wax paste, which I have right here. This is a metallic, it's called Turtle Green by Pentart. And that is a wonderful color. I'm glad I put the white wax. I love it. I think it was just what I needed. I didn't want this to be really dark, you know. All right, there you go. You guys can see that. That's Pentart Antique Paste in white. So now, we need to figure out what we're going to do with this cutie pie. Okay. That's good. So we need to let her dry. So I have Amy Howard's light antique wax, and I think I'm going to try that. I don't want to go too dark at first. I love this brush. This is a fabulous brush. It's great for doing faux finishes and waxes, and it's by Ralph Lauren. I bought it at Home Depot years ago, and I mean, this is a great brush. Love it. Okay. So here we go. You just get a little bit on here. This wax has an odor, so you need good ventilation. You know, you don't want to be inhaling it. And I turned on my fan. So we're going to put it in here, okay? Like this. My board could have used some sanding right there. A little rough, for sure. You know, that you know, for aging purposes, old dark waxes and antiquing dusting powders and stuff, you want them to get in the crevices so you can make them look oldie and, you know. Okay. So that's a good start. Here's the dark wax. Just kind of painting with dark wax, you know, around this recessed edge. And I like that. I mean, you're basically just kind of painting with dark wax, you know, around this recessed edge. And I like that. And you could go in with like a more liquid gel medium, like an antiquing gel, which is easy. You just paint it in with a small brush. Just go behind it and kind of wipe around the inside edge, you know. Okay. Should dry. I think she's dry. Okay. So, antique paste, and I love this sparkling silver. It's Chameleon, Wax Paste Chameleon by Pentart. This stuff is gorgeous. Definitely gonna put that on there. And so we have our gold by Pentart and we have our antique gold. And don't be surprised if I mix them when I add them, because I like to mix it up. Mix it up. All right, here we go. Okay, I'm running out of brushes. I am using up all my brushes here. We'll start with Pentart's Umbra Antique Wax on the angel. And this is a stencil brush, but you know, it's okay. We're just gonna, just a little bit, a little dab will do ya. And you just put it all around her, okay? Like that. All around your angel. And then you just brush it. Like that. And let's see. I think I'm gonna use this one because it's just softer. I just love this brush. It's too big. I wish I had a little one like it. So she's getting oldie. There's a bristle. she's going to be lovely. She's going to be a pretty little angel. Alright, we're going to add some antique gold. Okay. Gold wax. So we can brighten her up with a little brighter gold. This is just called Gold by Pentart, and it's also antique. No, this is wax paste. The other one was antique paste. So this is a color wax paste, and we don't want to go heavy with this. This is kind of bright, and now this is Pentart's wax paste Chameleon, and it is so sparkly and pretty. I love it. It gives a like a twinkle to your project. And I love it so much. So it's like a little bit of sparkle, you know? Like it's so sweet. You kind of have to add this a little more generously than you would the darker, heavier waxes, you know? Because chameleon, the whole point of chameleon wax or chameleon pigments is you apply them to a dark color. Like the chameleon color will show better on a dark background of any kind of chameleon. But as you can see here, it's lending this twinkly, sparkly silver to our angel, which I love this stuff. It's so pretty. I think it's just what she needed. Love, love, love it. I can't get enough of this stuff. I used it on my Christmas spirit box I made yesterday in another live. I used it over the snow paste and the ice paste pen. It was great. All right, there you go. I don't know if you can see that. And again, wax paste Chameleon in sparkling silver by Pentart. So now we want to age her just a teeny bit with Amy Howard's Dust of Ages. Just a teeny bit. So this is Amy Howard's Dust of Ages. And it's just what it sounds like. It's just old dusty looking powder that looks like old dusty dirt. So you just want to take a dry brush and add that in there. So just dip your brush, tap it off, and you need wax on anything that you add Dust of Ages to, because the wax is like the carrier that helps adhere your powder, your pigment powder or your aging powder. You know, it has to have something to cling to. And you want to get it into her little, kind of go heavy in there in the deeper crevices, and it's going to get all over your project, and you have to go and tap it out over a big piece of paper or like a garbage can so you don't get it everywhere. And that is it for that. And we'll add some. There we go. You can tell. And then I'm just gonna like brush some of it that didn't come off when I was tapping it. Just like brush it down in there and go tap it again. Okay, there we go. I think that adding some of that sparkling silver to touch it up around here would be really pretty on here. Just, you know, tip the pine cones in the eye of the poinsettia with a touch of sparkle. Kind of pretty. And maybe we could just do some touches on her little crown and on the baby Jesus. I mean, it's barely, you know, on there. Didn't go crazy or anything. And this stuff, I mean, once this wax paste gets on stuff, it gets on it. It's hard to take off. You have to sand it off. If you don't want it in somewhere, you're going to have to sand it off. So you got to be careful. So the parts of these red berries where they're whitish is where I'm going to put the sparkle. Some more sparkle back to her because we dulled her. We may have dulled her up a little too much with the Dust of Ages. Oh, lovely. Piece by Pentart in Umbra. I could paint the inside of this with like a dark gold paint, like a brown in the but I want to do the wax paste and the color wax paste. They'll be pretty. gold now. Paint it with antique gold. And again, I'm using a small angle brush to paint in the antique gold over the Umbra antique paste. And this antique gold is antique paste as well. There we go. We're just kind of painting the trim inside with antique paste in antique gold. There you go. And it doesn't have to be perfect and perfectly covered and saturated, because it's supposed to be just kind of agey and oldie anyway. And we just sort of lightly brush into the evergreen sprigs. We don't have to like saturate and cover them. Okay, just a little bit over there. It's not a big deal. And to get to the edge, you just sort of brush up over, like at the edge, to get a good clean edge, like that. So just a little long view. And it's okay if, some of the antique paste and gold wax covers your transfer on the sides. It's not, it really doesn't look bad. Okay, so that's antique gold. Ooh, that's pretty. This is called Turtle Green antique paste. Nope, it's wax paste metallic by Pentart. Here you go. They say metal, but it has a metallic look. Oh, this is going to be pretty in here. There you go. Oh, love it. Well, that's the ticket right there. I am so glad I tried it. I could use a bigger paintbrush though. This is going to take a while. I don't know, it's kind of a small space too, so a little too much on my brush there. Oh yeah, perfect. Ooh, love it. There we go. We don't want to cover up the transfer too much there on the side. Wiped off too much. There we go. That's good. Maybe she could use some green turtle. Okay. So here you can see that I am wiping back with a soft cloth the white wax paste that I trimmed out the inner edge with to clean it up. And then I am going to brush on a light coat of Pentart's Turtle Green Wax Paste Metallic. So at this point, we're almost done, and we're going to put the finishing touch of the antique wax paste all over the front of the frame and over the images and the transfers to just give it a little bit of antiquing. We're now at the last stage of our project, and we are using Pentart's acrylic paint and matte in a muddy color with water added to make a very thin watercolor type paint. And we'll use a soft fan brush to make little spatters that are flicked across randomly the surface of the project. And this gives your project an aged, antiqued appearance. And after this dries, we will apply a clear coat of decor wax to seal and protect our project. I want to thank you for watching my tutorial, and I hope I inspired you to make something beautiful, and you may find Pentart, Roycycled treasures, and the full line of Iron Orchid Designs products at myvictorianheart.com. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.